IPL verdict which came out today, and Chennai Super Kings and Rajasthan Royals are now out for 2 years. Gurunath, Meiyappan and Kundra have been banned. The question is, where does this leave the IPL? What happens to this star-studded tournament? What happens to the players who are playing for Chennai and Rajasthan? Here's more.
The verdict came hard and clear. It was a day when N. Srinivasan's team, his company and his son-in-law were nailed. Team N. Srinivasan ripped apart in court. India Cements suspended for 2 years.
The committee proposes to impose sanction on India Cements franchisee under Section 6, Rule 4.2c of the operational rules by suspending it from the league for a period of 2 years.
Gurunath Meiyappan banned for life.
He is suspended for life from being involved in any type of cricket matches.
Rajasthan Royals suspended for 2 years.
The matter, the committee imposes sanction on Jaipur IPL franchisee under Section 6, Rule 4.2c of the operational rules by suspending it from the league for a period of 2 years.
Kundra banned for life.
He is suspended for life from being involved with the BCCI in any type of cricket matches under Section 6, Rule 4.2b, read with J of the operational rules.
However, there still remain some doubts regarding the fate of the IPL. Will the next IPL have only 6 teams instead of the usual 8? What about the players of the 2 teams? Where do they go? Why was the verdict against India Cements and not against Chennai Super Kings?
When Justice Lodha was asked if change in ownership of Chennai Super Kings and Rajasthan Royals could enable them to be a part of the next season of IPL, they made it very clear that ownership change was something that the BCCI had to decide, and it was not something that was under their scope while they were probing the matter.
The Lodha Commission verdict has still left room for the BCCI to clean its act. There are various options left for the board. Team Rajasthan and Team Chennai could be put on auction again and have new owners. The new team can once again play in the IPL under their original name or one given by the new owners. The whole team could be retained, or else the BCCI could announce a whole new auction. Finally, there is some relief for the cricket fan. Finally, there is belief that there is someone who can clean our cricket. With Radhika Tongar in Delhi, Sports Bureau, India Today.
I want to go across now to Justice Mukul Mudgal. He's the person who worked tirelessly on putting the original report together, which serves as the basis of the Justice Lodha order today. Thank you very much, Justice Mukul Mudgal, for joining us. Now, the Chennai Super Kings has been knocked out. The Rajasthan Royals are out for 2 years as well. Are you hopeful that through this order, a larger process of cleaning up of the BCCI will begin? Or do you think this will be restricted just to the action that's been taken, or do you think we're seeing something far more transformative here?
Yeah, I think it may seem like a thing which hurts cricket, but according to me, on the contrary, it will benefit cricket. You know, as you call the word bitter pills are necessary to improve the system.
Now that Gurunath Meiyappan has been found guilty, questions are also being asked about N. Srinivasan, whether he can stay on as ICC chief. Do you think, sir, that Srinivasan continuing as ICC chief is now completely untenable on the back of what Justice Lodha has found?
Well, Rahul, I would honestly believe this is a call for the ICC to take or Mr. Srinivasan to take. Nobody else can impose its morality on another person, frankly.
Okay, what happens to the players? Is there some thought that you have that you'd like the BCCI to put into action, because you've got players in the Rajasthan team, you've got players in the Chennai team who suddenly stare at a very dark future?
Now, I'd like to give an example of the Italian Football League, where Juventus, for a malpractice of one of the owners or player, was sent to the second league. And Juventus made an offer to all players that we'll continue to pay you, but those who want a free transfer will permit. So many players moved out of Juventus, and you remember Juventus came up and they were the runners-up in the Champions League this year. So that, I think the franchisees can adopt that route. They can relax their contractual obligations, but that depends entirely on the franchisee. Sometimes you may not like to release your marquee player, you know, to the opponent, even for 2 years. So,
well, you're still sounding hopeful that the careers of these players won't be hurt and impacted, but life is really far more complicated in what happens to these players. And I want to go across to just the man who might have the answers to these questions, my colleague Boria Majumdar. He tracks the BCCI more closely than anyone else. Now, Boria, first question, what happens to the IPL next year? Is a 6-team league going to lose some of its luster? What is the BCCI's plan now?
No, the BCCI is in a huddle. I mean, they did not expect, Rahul, till 1 p.m. this afternoon. If you asked the BCCI, they would have said, oh, it's a fine and nothing else. None of them were expecting Justice Lodha to pronounce a 2-year ban for these two franchises. I can tell you till this morning when I was speaking to them, and they were like, oh, no, don't expect anything more than a fine, that's it. Now they are in a huddle. The emergent working committee meeting might be called. IPL Governing Council has already been called on the 19th to discuss. Technically, they still want an 8-team IPL. They want 2 new teams, perhaps a fresh auction, whatever, because they know that with 6 teams, the economic model is unviable. They know that IPL cannot take off. They know telecast rights will not be the same. They know sponsors and broadcasters will not pay them the same fee. They know that the tournament is about to collapse. So the BCCI is staring down at dark days. More importantly, Rahul, more importantly, this is step 1. Ask Justice Mudgal. This is Act 1 as far as I am concerned. I've spoken to Justice Lodha, I've spoken to Gopal Shankar Narayan, who's the advocate assisting this committee, and they both tell me this is part 1. Second part will be more damning. It's on Sundar Raman, it's on BCCI reforms. Unless the BCCI see the writing on the wall, please trust me, they will be dealt a fatal blow in the near future. So,
so what is the timeline on that, Boria? By when will we know what is the bitter pill that Justice Lodha wants to administer to the BCCI?
Maximum next 1 to 2 months, that's it, before perhaps the BCCI AGM in September. They are now at it. Vivek Priyadarshi's report on Sundar Raman is awaited. Perhaps you will get that in the next week. Over the next couple of months, you will see proposals from the Lodha committee which are binding on the BCCI reform. And if the BCCI doesn't see this writing on the wall that has hit them today, God save them, because they are in for a real
Boria,
surprise.
what happens to the likes of Mahendra Singh Dhoni and all the stalwarts in these 2 teams? What happens to them?
You know, importantly, we need to ask Justice Mudgal again. I mean, at some point in time, Rahul. Fact is, Mahendra Singh Dhoni was called by Justice Mudgal. Mahendra Singh Dhoni was given an opportunity to tell who Gurunath Meiyappan was. Now tell me, Chennai Super Kings captain doesn't know who Chennai Super Kings owner is? He interacts on a daily basis with you. He's also Vice President of India Cements. So he doesn't know what the ownership structure is. He doesn't know what the hierarchy is. So he went and told the committee that he's not aware of the ownership structure. He did not know that Gurunath was part of the team hierarchy structure. Now, for that reason, for me, Mahendra Singh Dhoni has placed Chennai Super Kings' interest over and above the interest of Indian cricket. As Indian cricket captain, for him, the integrity of this game was sacrosanct. He should have stood up to that. He did not, and if he has to pay a price for it, so be it.
Well, that is very, very unfortunate. This is a moment that could have defined Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Would he have chosen his club? Would he have chosen cricket? He chose to protect the interests of his club, and now it's coming back to bite him. Boria Majumdar, will keep coming back to you for more updates as the story unravels. I want to go across now to Kirti Azad, one of the most prominent crusaders against the BCCI. Are you hoping, Mr. Azad, that this is the beginning of a mass cleansing of the BCCI? Do you think this will get restricted just to Gurunath Meiyappan, just to Raj Kundra, and there'll be limited damage, and the club that runs the BCCI will somehow come together to ensure that there's no collateral damage?
Well, I think it's a very good judgment that has come out today. I think it's just a beginning. It's a tip of an iceberg. I think that there are going to be a lot of these skeleton coming out of the cupboards of BCCI, which stands for Board for Cozy Club in India. I think this should teach them a lesson. I'm not sure whether they'll really come onto the line or not, but I'm sure there are going to be many more decisions. And I would specifically be wanting that the sealed envelope that is lying with the Honorable Supreme Court should be opened and seen as to what is there.
One of the problems really seems to be that a lot of the people who are at the helm of the BCCI at a time when the spot fixing took place, involved in the IPL, involved in the BCCI governing architecture, they're all still, they've shuffled amongst themselves, but they're still holding important positions. Given that, do you think there is any possibility at all of cleansing coming from within? They've called a meeting on the 19th. Will that be damage control? Are you really hoping just the Supreme Court is the only authority that can come down and order mass cleansing of Indian cricket?
This is exactly what I have been saying, that they are united alliance, united in corruption alliances for position. Otherwise, all those who had lost the elections last AGM, how come those who lost became chairman in plum posts? You had a commissioner in the IPL who had lost it. You have a chairman of the finance committee, chairman of the disciplinary committee, all those people who had lost the elections. So obviously it shows that it's basically a farce, it's a Noora Kushti.